everybody. Welcome aboard. Happy September to all you faithful Dr. Glidden listeners, all you faithful Dr. Glidden insiders, people wise enough, smart enough to become subscribers to my online health recovery webinar site. That's right, I said smart enough. What's your choice? Well, here's what your choice is. You can continue to spend hundreds of dollars in medical insurance premiums that gives you access to the type of medicine that's the leading cause of death in the United States, the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States, and it has nothing for a chronic health condition rather than symptom-suppressive drugs. You can do all of that and, continue to get the results that you've gotten from that system for your entire life, just more and more. But as you get older, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse and worser. Worse and worser and worsest because MD-directed, conventional, allopathic, reductionistic, pharmaceutical-centrist medicine does not work in the treatment of chronic diseases. That's why we have a healthcare crisis. The system doesn't need to be tweaked. It needs to be abandoned. And now, thanks to Obamacare, it's going to be mandatory for us to buy into the system. So my recommendation, cancel your comprehensive medical insurance, buy catastrophic instead. And if hunt around for a medical insurance provider that's going to provide that type of insurance. Look, I don't need to see a doctor every year. I don't want to see a doctor every year. The only time I'm going to need to avail myself of these people, if ever in my life, is if I've been in an automobile accident or if I have a third-degree burn, heaven forbid, or a bullet in my arm or whatever. Go hunting with Dick Cheney and, get my face shot off. Well, then you need these guys. But for all intents and purposes, you don't need them. What's a better use of your money is to purchase one Healthy Start Pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, one bottle of plant minerals, plant-derived minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month, one bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, eliminate the 10 bad foods from your diet, and go about your business. Because once you've secured your body's nutrient needs, once you've done that, and your body's completely nutrified all of the time with the 90 essential nutrients, the 90 for life in absorbable recipes formulated by the world's leading naturopathic physician whose academic resume is beyond approach. Once you've gotten that together and your body's nutrified all the time, and your heart and your eyes and your ears and your nose and your mouth and your throat and your lungs and your kidneys and your brain and your gallbladder and your small intestine and your large intestine and your stomach and your spleen and your adrenal glands, and everything else has all of the nutrients that they need to function properly all of the time, and you have eliminated food that causes inflammation and upset to the human body, the only thing you need to eat food for is calories to burn for energy, protein to help your body repair itself, and fat for your central nervous system. So I don't give a crap what you eat as long as you've eliminated the 10 bad foods and you're completely nutrified. Imagine that. Imagine a world where you don't have to worry about the nutritional value of your food. Imagine that. Now, is it a good idea to eat organic? Well, yes, because that will lighten the load on the physical body. It will lighten the stress to the physical body. But here's an interesting point to ponder. And this is what we do here at Longevity, and specifically in general, and specifically on this radio show. We bust wide open medical myths. I mean, that's what we do. It's not because really I have an axe to grind. It's because you've been told the wrong stuff all of the time. And we're at the head of the pack. We're on the front end of this curve. We're at the point of the spear. We are right here. Fire your MD now. You're not going to hear this anywhere else. You're going to hear it here. You're going to hear it here first. And, somebody's got to be first. Somebody's got to be number one. Somebody's got to be first in line. Somebody has to be the first person to stand up on the mountain and yell. Someone has to be the first one to the fire alarm and pull it down. Fire! The ship's on fire. The building's on fire. Let's get out of here. Somebody has to be the first one to declare war. Somebody has to fire the shot heard round the world. Well, guess what? You're listening to them. From 1970 to 1982, Dr. Joel Wallach was in charge of $25 million of federally funded research. And you know why he did that? That's the research, by the way, that his formulations are founded upon. Then, of course, his clinical experience. But you know why Dr. Wallach did this research in the first place? You know why they did it? Well, talk about stuff you didn't know, in the 1960s there was an environmental disaster in Japan called the Minamata disaster. Minamata, Japan, was a small fishing village, I believe in northwestern Japan, I think. I might be wrong on the geography there. Minamata, look it up, Minamata, Minamata. There was an industrial plant upstream of Minamata village. There was a Minamata river flows down into Minamata Bay, and there was a fishing village at Minamata Bay. Well, the industrial company dumped tons of mercury into Minamata River. The mercury flows downstream, empties into Minamata Bay. As fate would have it, just at the exact right time that the algae were blooming in Minamata Bay. So guess what? The algae suck up the mercury. The little fish eat the algae. The medium-sized fish eat the little fish. The big fish eat the medium-sized fish. The villagers eat the big fish. Everybody in the village gets mercury toxicity, mercury poisoning, like big time. Not just a little bit, like big time mercury poisoning, big time. Hundreds of people die, thousands of people get sick, and all of the kids born thereafter in Minamata for a couple of years were like Frankenstein. One eye, half a brain, 15 fingers, 3 legs. I mean, it was bad. And the scientific community freaked out because they figured out in short shrift that it was mercury toxicity that did this. And here was the thought process at the time, right? This was before the scientific community really was getting their feet wet with this whole field of environmental toxicity to begin with. They didn't know anything about anything, right? So they're looking at Minamata and they're going, holy crap, if mercury can do this, what about lead and PCBs and hydrochlorofluorocarbons and all this other stuff we have no idea about? This was a potential human extinction event, right? You've all seen, those movies about the end of the world, right? The big comet's going to come and hit, whatever, right? It's the end of the world and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, they thought that this was a potential human extinction event because, crap, mercury caused all these birth defects, and that's mercury. What about all this other stuff? I mean, if we continue to just unregulate this stuff and let the captains of industry do whatever they want to the air and the water and the ground, we might be just putting ourselves out of life. So they put together a task force to explore the extent of the damage and the net negative effects that pollution would have. And so who did they pick to save the world? Will Smith? Arnold Schwarzenegger? Bruce Willis? No, Dr. Joel Wallach. They tapped Dr. Joel Wallach to be the lead investigator, the head of this research project, the intention of which was to save humanity from extinction. I want you to think about that long and hard. They chose Dr. Wallach to be the head of the task force, the research task force. They gave him $25 million to organize, dream up, organize, and orchestrate a research project that would answer the question, what exactly are the net negative effects of pollution on our health and what can we do about it? Joel Wallach. Dr. Joel Wallach to the rescue. This is why I'm, humbled, quite frankly, to be in the same room with Dr. Wallach. And this is why, if you're interested in a medical nutrition alternative to whatever craziness your MD is recommending, you should lean on Wallach 100% of the time because he has more experience in this regard than anybody. And if you think sucralose is a big bad voodoo daddy, you're a knucklehead. It is not. My point here is lean on Dr. Wallach, but I'm not done with my story. So remember, you don't know what you don't know, and we're about busting myths, right? So Wallach's in charge of this research, and they're doing autopsies. So here's what they did. They said, well, we can't do experiments on living humans, right? We can't do that. That's against the law. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at animals in urban zoos in the United States, like the St. Louis Zoo, the San Diego Zoo, the New York Zoo, right, the Chicago Zoo. I don't even think there is a Chicago Zoo, the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago. So we're going to do autopsies and blood chemistries and tissue samples from the animals living in urban areas right next to humans, ostensibly because they are exposed to the same crap that we are, environmental toxicity. And then we're going to go into the wild, into the wilderness, all around the world. We're going to find the same species of animal, and we're going to do blood work and autopsy and tissue samples on the animals in the wild and compare the two to see if there are any variables there from exposure to pollution and what the net negative health effects are. It was a very smart idea. It was kind of brilliant, actually. So about halfway into the project, however, they're coming up empty-handed. Wallach's going, look, there's no net negative effects from pollution, and the only time that pollution is, in fact, a great big bad voodoo daddy is when there's a giant exposure, like Minamata, like Chernobyl, like 3 Mile Island. It's a big, giant exposure, right? Like you live in a house filled with asbestos, or you work in the coal mine, right? Big, giant exposure all the time. But normal day-to-day stuff was irrelevant, had hardly any negative effects on health. The research project was almost canceled. And, you know, everybody breathes a great big sigh of relief. Well, thank you very much. Industry can soldier on. But they discovered something that they weren't looking for. And this is what makes their discovery all the more pertinent. They discovered that even though pollution had to be a giant exposure to propagate a net negative health effect, not having enough calcium in your body, not having enough vitamin C or vitamin A or vitamin B or omega-3 or omega-6 or, you know, tyrosine, not having any of the essential nutrients in the body would kill you. But you wouldn't just die. First, you would suffer, and then you would die. Nutrient deficiencies were, in fact, a much bigger problem than pollution. Pollution was irrelevant, and the negative effects of pollution paled in comparison to not having enough nutrition. Moral of this story, don't worry about the crap in the air, the crap in the food, the crap in the water. Don't worry about what is there. Worry about the nutrients that are not there. Get on board with a 90 for life to save your life. Stick around. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here with another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. Today is, of course, the third day of September 2013, September 3rd, 2013. Talk about time flying when you're having fun. What the heck? It's September all of a sudden? I don't know how that happened. So listen, if you've not yet joined Longevity for Your Health or Your Wealth, go to my website and click on Join Team Glidden. Click on Join Team Glidden right there at fireyourmdnow.com. Go there, click on Join Team Glidden. For the month of September, Team Glidden will be having a contest where our team members can win an iPad Mini and longevity products. You got to love that. Join Team Glidden to get more info. You got to become a member of my team in order to do this, in order to get info and figure out what's going on. Now, listen, this is only for people who are not yet in longevity. If you're already in longevity in somebody else's group, then you can't. You don't qualify. This is just for my team members. We take special care of my team members. This is only for my team members and for those people who are yet to be team members who have not joined Longevity yet. If you join at the CEO Mega Pack level, you'll get specialized business and health coaching and training by top-level members. So check it out, folks. The game is on. It's game on, baby. Win an iPad Mini in the month of September. FireYourMDNow.com. Click on Join Team Glidden, and life is good. Looks like our old friend Gottfried from Germany is back on. Achtung, Gottfried. Thanks for calling. You are live.
Hey, Doc. How are you?
I'm very, very good, man. How goes the? We keep missing each other. I think we haven't connected about this whole thing with the European Union.
Right.
Where are you at with that? Have you moved along there?
I'm waiting for your call. You said you contact Steve and nothing is happening.
Okay, so you went back to the lab and you got all the information and you're good?
Yeah, they just want to go ahead, and then whether things can go on, then we give them the green light to do the analysis.
All right. Well, what's your morning like tomorrow? How far ahead of me are you in Germany?
6 hours, I think.
All right. So if we did 10 o'clock my time,
okay,
that would be 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 p.m. tomorrow work for you?
That's right.
All right, very good. I'll call you at 10 a.m. my time, 4 p.m. your time tomorrow, and we'll dial it in. I'll Skype you, buddy.
Yeah,
and
that
life
would be
is
wonderful.
Good. All right, I look forward to that. I'm very excited about this. So how can I help you today, Gottfried? What's going on, man?
I'm part of this webinar stuff.
Yeah.
And when I dial into the archive with the Vision recovery system, I cried here. You can't believe it.
Yeah, I know. It's remarkable stuff, isn't it? Because you're suffering from what? Macular degeneration?
I'm suffering from glaucoma, cataract, and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's remarkable stuff. Now, let me give you a heads up on the cataract, okay?
Yeah, but I have a surgery on the cataract already.
Oh, okay, great. Well, sometimes that's necessary, and sometimes it's not. I think more often than not, the cataract surgery is actually necessary and a good idea. But, you know, the rest of the stuff, man, we can go a long, long way towards supporting and promoting the health of your eyes. And Dr. Wallach, over the years, has secured some unbelievable vision testimonials. I mean, just unbelievable stuff. I mean, people that were legally blind before they got on board with medical nutrition, and now they can see again. It's like, oh, my God.
Yeah, but this lady on Joyce Fleming side, spoke to you, called Lorraine, got her eyesight back after 15 years of being blind.
Gotta love it. I mean, it's remarkable, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, yeah, it's remarkable. This is why I always say we have no idea where the breaking point is, where the point of no return. There is a point of no return, right, beyond which the body just can't fix it. But I don't know where that is anymore. I used to think I knew where that was before I met Dr. Wallach. Before I started using Wallach's protocols, you know, every doctor is a little full of themselves, right? Well, I was not immune to that. I used to think I knew.
Stuff organized by the MDs for eye stuff, and also, does he have any effect on the eyes?
Laser surgery? Well, no. The laser surgery that they're having now, it slices through the outer part of the eye, the cornea, in order to bend the light rays in a particular way. Now, and they're pretty advanced in that technology, and that's not going to do anything for glaucoma. That's not going to do anything for macular degeneration. That's not going to do anything besides change the angle at which light rays come into the eye. So it's not a bad thing to do. But again, nutrition, nutrition, nutrition. Hard break, Gottfried. Stick around. We're back in a minute, going back to our good friend Gottfried in Germany, folks. I am Dr. Peter Glidden, and this is Fire Your MD Now. And we're back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here with you on the third day of September 2013. Let's get right to the phones. 866-582-9933, by the way. That's the number to call. So what else is on your mind, Gottfried?
Listen, the surgery I have on my right eye was called CPC. I don't know whether you know it. Cyclophoto laser coagulation surgery.
Yeah.
To correct the glaucoma, and stuff. And I made the research that after you have this surgery, after 1.5 years, your eye go blank. So this is what is happening to my eyes. And at the moment, I don't have any what is the name? Glaucoma or this pressure anymore on my right eye.
Yeah.
But on the left eye, I have a pressure of 34. My recent check.
Well, from our point, I don't know either. I'm not familiar with that type of surgery, right? But it's irrelevant, because if the body is able to recover from it, it will recover from it. There's nothing extra to add to the program. The program here, from our point of view, the reason that glaucoma happens, which is a pressure buildup inside the eyeball, is because the circulation to the eyeball is gummed up. It's no different than the sink, the drain in your sink getting a clog in it, right? That it doesn't drain the way that it should. So from our point of view, this is a problem with clogged circulatory systems to the eye. What causes that? All of the wrong foods all of the time, and not enough.
They said it's diabetic.
Well, you know, diabetes, if diabetes is present, the sugar in the body produces too much insulin, And it's the presence of the insulin, not the sugar, that causes the damage to the cell walls here, which then causes a clog in the drain. So there's a number of things going on here, right? It's kind of like, you know, being attacked by the enemy while there's a hurricane. There's two things going against you, right, at the same time. So the recommendation to support and promote the structure and function of eye health is stay the hell away from the 10 bad foods, man. I would increase your ORAC for between 50 and 100,000 a day, between 50,000 and 100,000 ORAC points a day or more if you can manage it. 12 selenium a day, 12 selenium a day, and the Ultimate Daily Capsules, right? The Ultimate Daily Capsules and the selenium are the secret sauce here, and the antioxidants. Ultimate Daily, one bottle per 200 pounds of body weight per month. The selenium, appropriate for body weight, and antioxidants between 50 and 100, more than 100 if you can do it every day. On top of, right, the 90 essentials, then we just keep our darn fingers crossed and see what happens. Now, as we're going down the road here, if there's a type 2 diabetic thing going on, or even a type 1 diabetes, we anticipate the blood sugars to start to change within the first 3 months. We anticipate a nice change in the blood sugar.
I'm sorry to tell you that I'm so hooked on cashew nuts, and this is one of my problems.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, you want to check out the sugar content of the cashew nut, and if you're hooked on anything, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's, you know, for some people it's coffee, for some people it's cigarettes, for some people it's calories, for some people it's cashew nuts or whatever, candy for some people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, anybody in Alcoholics Anonymous in the United States, they're all sugar freaks. So what would be an interesting thing to do, Gottfried, for 2 weeks as a little experiment is get a bottle of plant-derived minerals, just the minerals, all by themselves, and do 4 ounces of the plant minerals a day. 1 ounce, 4 times a day, just of the plant minerals, and see what happens to your craving for cashews. It might just be a simple mineral deficiency in excess, all right? So dial that in, see what happens, keep your fingers crossed. I'm happy you're with us, and I will look forward to talking to you tomorrow at 4 o'clock your time. Thanks for everything that you do, Gottfried. I have to move along here. I appreciate you. Going from Germany to Texas to talk to Ulrich. Hey, Ulrich, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Yes, I have a question. What would be the genesis of protein in your kidneys? Would it be something wrong with your liver? And if so, what would you do about that, or would you just treat the kidneys?
Well, so you're getting protein in the urine, right?
Yes, sir. And feet are swelling up.
Yeah, protein swelling in the urine and feet swelling up. Well, those two things are in keeping and consistent with each other. Because if you have protein in the urine, that means it's not in the blood where it should be. And if it's not in the blood where it should be, it's, you know, if you don't have enough sufficient amounts of protein inside the blood vessels, then that's going to cause this reverse osmotic gradient that sucks water out of the blood vessels into the surrounding tissue. It's a funny little thing that happens. By the way, if you're in the listening audience and you know anybody that suffers from this condition, it used to be called dropsy. That's the old, or milk leg. That's the old-fashioned term for this. It's, you know, you see people with really swollen feet or really swollen ankles, or from the knee down, their legs are puffy. It can even happen in the upper extremities, less frequently, though. This is not because you have a bad gene. It's not because you have bad circulation. It's because there's just not enough protein in the blood. Now, when we have protein spilling into the urine, that means the kidneys are not functioning optimally. The kidneys are not doing a good job at filtering the stuff that they need to filter. The kidneys are underfunctioning. That's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever had an air conditioner, but I do. And if there's in our heating and cooling system, of course, in most people's, there's a room to put a filter in the ducts, right? These big, 12 by 24-inch air filters. And if you're not on top of cleaning the air filter out, the air filter gets all clogged up with the stuff that it's filtering. And when that happens, it makes the air conditioning unit work harder and work harder and work harder. When the AC unit works harder, what happens is the copper pipes that are involved with your air conditioning, they'll get iced up. I mean, I went down like 6 months ago. I went down in my air conditioning unit. It was like Iceland up there. I mean, the whole thing was all these big, giant ice chunks holding onto the thing. I pulled the filter out, for goodness sake. I hadn't changed the filter in a year. I don't know what I was thinking. But my point is, it's not really any different in the body. When the filters in your body they're overloaded, and, they're not functioning properly, it's going to have effects elsewhere, and this is one of the things that happens. So this is a kidney function problem specifically. Now, to support and promote the healthy function of the kidney, the recommendation is the Anti-Aging Healthy Start Pack, appropriate for body weight, the Anti-Aging Healthy Start Pack, and selenium, appropriate for body weight. The secret sauce here would be the Ultimate Daily Capsules. 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily Capsules. I would do 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily Capsules per 200 pounds of body weight. If you're over 200 pounds, for 1 month, I would do 2 bottles of Ultimate Daily Capsules. And for a month or 2, you may benefit from an herbal supplement called Super KB. Super KB, the K stands for kidney, the B stands for bladder. It's an herbal supplement, the intention of which is to support and promote the health, structure, and function of the kidneys and the bladder. So we're supporting specifically the kidney here with the Super KB add-on and the Ultimate Daily Capsule add-on. But remember, this all, we're pretty practical and pragmatic here, so inquiring minds want to know, well, what the heck caused the filter to get all clogged up in the first place? The filter in this case being the kidney. That would be wheat, barley, rye, and oats, oil in a bottle, fried food, margarine, well-done red meat, meat with nitrates added as preservatives, and, carbonated beverages with a meal. But especially free radical donors are the big culprit here. Fried food especially, and oil in a bottle. You just want to not even look at that crap anymore, man. I mean, just eliminate that.
Well, I stopped that a long time ago. About 2-3 months ago.
Well, so how old are you?
51.
So that means for 50 years and,
well, let's say, 50 years.
10 months, you've been messing your body up with all the wrong stuff. You ain't going to recover from that in 2 months, right?
Okay. Yes, sir.
But my point is, you're going to recover from it to the degree that your body's able to recover from it if now you change your direction. And this is a really great thing to talk about. And, we're so used to immediate fixes in this country that, I need to reiterate this over and over, and I'm happy to because, that's my job. But healing is a process. It's not an event. It's something that unfolds over time. And we expect, slow and steady wins the race here, baby. Slow and steady wins the race. So as long as you're doing the right stuff, right? You've eliminated the crap and you're giving your kidneys the right stuff in this case, then the only thing necessary is time. And the more time that you have, the more of an improvement you should see. The more of an improvement you should see, the more of an improvement. Now, one thing that you can do ostensibly to help here in the meantime is eat more protein.
Well, that's what I've been doing. I've been taking like 60 grams of protein a day.
Well, 90 is, go up to 90 and see if that doesn't help. Now, you could also use lemon juice and a little bit of water before you eat a meal.
Yeah, I tried that, but that bloated me up and I got gas and all this with the enzymes.
You're salting your food so that it tastes good?
All big time to taste.
All right, great, man. And how many enzymes are you taking?
I take one. I was taking one with every meal with a 1 lemon, but that gave me gas. I didn't know what was giving me the gas. It was like bloating me up.
Could have been the lemon, so I would go with the enzymes, go back to the enzymes, and, just give the program more time. You doing the Ultimate Dailies, the Ultimate Daily Caps?
Yeah, I have a bottle of that. I'm doing that two every meal.
All right, great. I mean, that's 6 a day, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, now I probably have told you this before, but I'm going to tell it so that the listening audience can get it. The Ultimate Daily Capsules is one of the largest hard-pressed nutritional supplements. It's a hard-pressed tablet that Longevity has, but most hard-pressed tablets, like Centrum Silver crap, has a shellac coating on it. I mean, it's shiny and it's slippery, and you pop that in your mouth, it just slides right down because it has a shellac coating. But the shellac coating is very hard for your body to digest. So you might swallow it down okay, but, 6 hours later, 12 hours later, you're going to poop it right out undigested. Longevity's Ultimate Daily hard-pressed capsule does not have a shellac coating on it, so it's one of the more difficult things to swallow because sometimes it'll stick to your tongue, right? So what I recommend, if that is your experience, which invariably it will be if you're taking these regularly, is keep them in the freezer. Put them in the freezer, man. Freeze the bottle. Put the bottle in the freezer and freeze the capsules and swallow the capsules frozen, because they'll go right down the hatch much easier than if they're straight in the bottle. So you just need more time, buddy. Check it out. Give your body more time. The only other thing that you could do, really, is up the ante with your daily intake of antioxidants. Up the ante with your antioxidants. Again, your goal being between 50 and 100,000 or more ORAC points of antioxidants. But your low ball number every day should be a minimum of 50,000 ORAC points a day of antioxidants. Check it out. Keep calling back, man. We appreciate everything that you do down there in Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, 866-582-9933. That's the number to call if you want to talk to me live. And if you're listening to the podcast, because you have a JOB and you can't call in during your JOB, the number to call for information or for support or for help is 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. Remember, become a Dr. Glidden insider by going to fireyourmdnow.com. Click on the online subscription service, join us, and then click on the Become a Team Glidden member button. Join the cause and lift yourself up into financial freedom as well as health. And again, that beats a poke eye with a sharp stick. Stick around. Boom, 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 baby. That's how we do it. One person at a time. Don't believe me? Well, let's let Gary from Tennessee tell you how we roll. Gary, welcome for the phone call. You are live.
Hey, Doc. It's good to talk to you. Good to see you there in Smithfield, Tennessee. What a fantastic seminar that you put on there. We drove 5 hours. That's 2.5 hours both way. And it was well worth every minute that I spent on the road just to see you.
Well, I appreciate the positive strokes, man. And honest to God, Gary, if I seem tall to you, it's because I'm standing on Dr. Wallach's shoulders. I mean, no kidding. I mean, really, I've learned more in the last 5 years from Doc than I have in the previous 20. I mean, all combined. I mean, Dr. Wallach is an institution here. And really, we gotta pay it forward, right? But I mean, the reason that I'm able to talk to you the way that I do is because of everything that I've learned from Dr. Wallach. He really is the unrivaled superstar of holistic medicine. But I appreciate the strokes, man.
Yeah, I've got basically just about everything Dr. Wallach's put in print and on CD.
I know, right?
But let me tell you, your online webinars, they help recovery. I am an insider, and what you placed on there is understandable to me. I'm not. I can't keep up with Doc with some of the things that he talks about in his books. But what you put together is plain language. I get it. I mean, I love the vision for the eye, just the basics of nutrition. Everything is there. If somebody would at least spend 1 or 2 months there, if that's all they could afford, it'd change their lives.
Well, I will, toot my own horn here because that's one of my strengths. I mean, I'm very, very good at being able to take these complicated medical, physiological stuff and just make it easy to understand because, honest to God, it's just easy stuff. And it's the MDs who go out of their way to try to complicate it and make it inaccessible. And that's just criminal as far as I'm concerned. It's criminal. This is not difficult stuff, but it's pitched to the public as difficult stuff. It just takes someone like me to dumb it down, and really, this type of information should be easily available to everybody. And you're hearing it from the horse's mouth, folks. FireYourMDNow.com. Sign up for my online health recovery stuff. Become a Dr. Glidden insider. You don't know what you don't know. Healing is easy. And let me drag you into the light of medical nutrition. Now, thanks for the strokes, Gary. I think you've got a question here. What's up?
I've got 2 of them. I've got one is a 35-year-old female, and she's about 5'6" and wrestles with her weight. And she has severe menstrual cramps.
Oh, well, I'll stop you right there. That's a simple calcium deficiency, period. There's no magic there. So you got to dial in, of course, the Healthy Start Pack and selenium appropriate for body weight, right? Now, in the Healthy Start Pack, there's calcium, right? So, however, so you got to dial in the appropriate Healthy Start Pack appropriate for body weight, and then give her 1 extra bottle of calcium a month, 1 extra bottle of the liquid calcium a month. And when she's having her menstrual cycle, what I would tell her to do is to have 1 ounce of the white liquid calcium and a little bit of orange juice 4 times a day. And when she's, doubled up with a cramp, just pound down 1 ounce of the calcium and a little bit of orange juice. And if her cycle is regular and she knows when it's going to happen, preventively, she can increase her calcium dosage a couple of days before her menstrual cycle is set to start, and then for the first couple of days of the period. But normally, once we've fulfilled the body's need for calcium appropriately with the appropriate Healthy Start Pack, just for a month or 2, you don't need to do extracurricular calcium because it sorts itself all out. It's a simple calcium deficiency, and the OsteoFX Plus will eliminate it like freaking magic.
Okay. And the other one was a male, a 60-year-old male, about 200 pounds, and really wrestles with hemorrhoids.
Oh, hemorrhoids. All right, so hemorrhoids are going real quick because we're up against a hard break. That's a copper deficiency and a tyrosine deficiency, mostly copper. The extra copper is found in the Longevity Selenium supplement. So when we're trying to push copper, the recommendation, regardless of body weight, is 4 bottles of selenium a month, in addition to the Healthy Start Pack, and have him take the selenium between meals. 4 between breakfast and lunch, 4 between lunch and dinner, and 4 between dinner and bedtime. 12 selenium a day on an empty stomach, plus the Healthy Start. Give it 6 months. We're back at 6 after the hour, folks. Stick around.